Welcome, sir. Welcome back. Salam alaikum, everyone. We are going live with our guest speaker, Mr. Hissam Baig. This is going to be our fourth episode. Sir, I welcome you on Wakhi TV. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to all the viewers.
Yeah, we discussed about two subjects, sir. What was about one was the previous one was knowledge society, advocacy, and transformation. So, do you want to touch base on that subject a little bit so we can move to the next subject?
Well, I think a little reiteration in the sense that knowledge is being generated every minute. So the need for keeping up to date is essential if you have to be in this competitive world. That's why I am advocating that we must have lifelong learning centers all over our region, and the best option that we have is Jamaat Khana and the other places which have been either established by government or by self-help or through AKDN. And then, of course, I've talked about the Chinese state-of-the-art facilities given to our region.
Awesome. Well, thank you for giving us the input, sir. We appreciate you and we welcome you back. This is our fourth episode. Everyone, we welcome all of you for watching Wakhi TV. We are live from Las Vegas and from Rawalpindi. Our guest speaker, Brigadier Hissam Baig, a well-known personality from Hunza. Sir, we're going to move to the next subject. The fourth subject we have to cover, it's about electricity, self-help, innovation, and export models. So I'll be asking you about 25 questions.
That's another ambition and, of course, a dream.
So what is
for a dream?
Yes, sir. Brigadier Hissam, what is this subject itself? Electricity, self-help, innovation, and export models.
Let me just reiterate the vision that I have on this topic. Historically, Hunzukus believe in Hunzu Sulchi, as we call it. In the present age, the region is suffering starvation in energy needs. The need for a platform of voluntary community service by sharing time, knowledge, and resources is inevitable to solve the energy issue and usher in a better quality of life and economic transformation towards a better future for the populations. The proposal is to establish and operate a Hunza power supply company in the collective ownership of all Hunzukus. This goal can be achieved by a network of LSOs. 8 of these are sponsored by AKDN and about 72 others are established by conscientious groups. So that's the vision.
So the vision, when you say, what do you mean by the vision? Whose vision is this, sir?
Well, I can claim that's my vision.
Okay, so
it's in line with whatever I have proposed as a roadmap for Hunza. The top 2 priorities, human resources and energy.
Okay. So in current situation, sir, what do you think, how many hours of electricity are available in all over Hunza right now?
Well, it's quite unpredictable. If I remember when I was in my 3rd year of engineering, we had 24 hours of electricity. And when I retired and went to Hunza, we had only 1 hour or 2 hours of electricity every few days.
Why is that, sir? Because Hunza is progressing, or because Hunza is getting more educated?
You can guess out of 24 hours electricity, once you get electricity for 2 hours or 1 hour a day, and then do with lots of disruptions. So I don't know whether we call it progress or
Yeah, progress in the sense of downfall. Because
no, I think we failed to grasp the importance that Imam gives to civil society. Now, as I talked of the civil society learning material, that has not been adopted. Even University of Central Asia has been designed to train people in civil society ideas, which is very important for our mountainous regions, whether it is Central Asia, Afghanistan, or Pakistan.
sir, is that the reason that the NGOs, non-government organization, when they entered Hunza, they spoiled the people and people became lazy? Do you think it's the NGOs?
I think it's when you say NGOs, AKDN can be considered an NGO, but it has always been trying to help people help themselves. It's unfortunate that we become a dependent society instead of a self-relying society.
So you think we, as a human of Gilgit Baltistan, we got into bad habits on this charities and NGOs, and we are not moving forward? Is that the reason? Because we become lazy and we become dependable on foreign aid.
Yes, I think hard work and difficult options we don't want to take. Easy ways, yes, we become dependent.
Sir, let me start with my questions. My first question to you is going to be, why is there still a lack of affordable and sustainable electricity in remote areas like Wakhan, Chitral, and Hunza?
Well, I don't see any reason it should be that way because, we have a number of options, as they say. The best option is hydropower, and then, of course, you have the most affordable and easily accomplishable option is solar energy, and of course, wind energy is there, but that technology is not easily available to us. And I think it's just this sense of dependency that somebody else should be able to come and help us. That is the biggest hurdle.
So you think everyone can afford the solar panels in that region?
No, I don't foresee people affording it. But I see that once we have these organizations like village organizations, women organizations, LSOs, they have a saving scheme, and when I go around, I see that some village organizations have a couple of millions, or some have lesser saving. but that's good enough to support such projects, invest in such projects. Now, the sense of investment is not there. They think that we should always be, if somebody visits us, he should give us a donation.
Yeah, so if the people are poor, so how they gonna afford it? Hunza is wealthy place.
It's not a question of poverty. I've already told you that every village organization that I've met, they have sufficient savings to support such investment. This sense of investment has to be there because that money is not going to be lost. That money is going to generate some income for the future as well.
Okay, it's the same question we're continuing, sir. My second question to you is why hasn't the idea of second generation self-help electricity been adopted yet?
I couldn't get very clearly the sense of this question.
The question is,
But
yeah, why hasn't
the
the
generation,
second generation self-help?
I'm watching, it has been, an overwhelming sense that if you develop enough pressure, governments and NGOs will do it for us.
So that's where we are lacking second generation self-help electricity. It's because we are still.
Yes, I think this trend which has developed that you've got to have pressure groups to force other people to serve us.
All right, my third question, sir. Can villages generate their own electricity and sell surplus to nearby towns or even countries?
Yes, that is possible. That's possible from all these sources that we talked about. If you have water available, you can do it through hydroelectricity. If it is not available, you have the solar option available. And then last option, I would say, is the wind also.
Okay, now the question raises again, sir. Why is traditional electricity production still so expensive in mountain communities?
Now, I see that's why I am advocating a very different manner of generating electricity. There was a problem, in the world, there has been a trend that you have a very big electricity generation system, whether it is hydroelectric, whether it is solar, or whether it is, the system has become that you have a big generation facility, and that energy is carried over transmission lines to the users. But in my concept, which I am advocating, because of the present improvements in technology, you can generate a small amount of energy and keep on what you call as qatra qatra darya. So we have to switch to distributed generation rather than concentrated generation. The concentrated generation methods are very expensive. Now, if I can quote my personal example of these idea demonstration projects, then you can produce electricity at 95,000 rupees per kilowatt instead of 16 lakhs to 20 lakhs per kilowatt, which is required for big generation systems.
So within 95,000 Pakistani rupees, someone can afford to have an electricity. That's what you're saying.
No, that's a different connotation. Actually, you can generate electricity at this rate, about 95,000 rupees per kilowatt.
So being
now, if you want to create 100 kilowatt or 1 megawatt or 100 megawatt, then of course you multiply it by 95 rupees.
So
95,000.
So it don't matter it's solar or is it hydropower? They cost the same or it's different?
I'm talking about the hydropower option, the floating hydroelectric generator project that I built.
Yeah, the traditional way, right?
No, it is non-traditional.
How, sir? Please explain to me, because I'm trying to figure out the expenses.
It is not totally non-traditional. I have put the details through my blog. The concept of floating hydroelectric generator I haven't seen in my searches.
So, how does this floating electricity work, sir?
Well, you have a floating platform on which you install a turbine, locally built turbine. That turbine drives an electrical generator, a 12-volt electrical generator. That generated DC is given to a bank of batteries, and from there you use an inverter to get the alternating current of 230 volts or higher.
But what about the water flow? Because it fluctuates. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes.
Yes, that's why it is floating. In summers, it goes up when the float is when water is more, and in winters it goes down because you have a floating platform which is not being carried away by the water because you have anchors.
Sir, but do you think it's reliable for the river Hunza? Because river Hunza in the summertime, it's a
If it is not reliable, we wouldn't recommend it.
no. Why I'm asking is because it becomes dangerous when you're saying a floating turbine moving in that water, because Hunza River brings big big stones or rocks together, and I don't think so that's reliable or still.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, the flow rate is not very fast. Big problem in Hunza is since water is dirty in most of these sources. So if you have a high, if the water flows very fast, then the turbines get eroded very fast. But if you have a low flowing water, turbines don't get eroded.
So there's no way that it could be dangerous. So the turbines can burn.
No, not at all. Why should it be dangerous? The big difference is you have a 1 kilowatt model and you have a maximum 2 kilowatt model, and you use hundreds of these small models to make your desired amount of electricity.
So if you give an example, sir, in Hunza, what is the location? What location?
I have done that, and I have shared the videos also.
So that means it's on a minor scale, not on a bigger scale.
Of course. I said it's just 1 kilowatt model.
Okay, so when winter comes, sir, there's no water in Hunza. So how do you run your system?
We hit the rivers, and I'm making the models for the rivers, not for the areas where water dries down.
Any recommendations, sir, on Hunza River? What location do you recommend these turbines to be fit?
All along, right from wherever you have small flows to wherever you have the flow has become quite large. All over. No restriction to an area.
All right, everyone, we are discussing about the potential of electricity. Our subject for today, our guest speaker is Mr. Hissam Baig. We covered 4 different stuff.
In fact, some enthusiast has made a group and included all the engineers from Hunza in that group. And he wants us to discuss the merits and demerits of all these and then recommend the areas. In fact, one of our experts had come up with an idea of 3 billion rupees to generate about 6 megawatts and accepted a site also. As compared to that, I say instead of 6 billion, we can generate the same amount of energy at 60 million.
Wow.
Now, there is quite a bit of difference between 60 million and 6 billion.
Yes. Let me ask you
So 60 million can be easily raised throughout our region.
Okay, now let me ask you another personal question, sir. This is out of my context. I want to ask you, how about if in the winter time there could be a way that all this electric system should be fit underground or fixed underground? Is there any way that the turbine, instead of going round, it should go on the grounds in circle? There's any way that the water can pass through and
Well, I really don't know. You know, the technological advances can take place, but you start from a very simple design and then improve it as the time goes by and make it to a bring it to a standard where you can export also.
So, what country do you suggest take a role model from besides Pakistan, sir?
Role models, of course, these days is China. They are using all types of techniques to generate electricity. They are using solar on a very big way. They are using hydropower on a very big scale. And I guess there are some indications that they are using this principle of floating hydroelectricity also.
So, why is the Acadians Economic Planning Board not helping the Hunza Jamaat or the Chitral or Gilgit Jamaat to go visit China on their expenses or on Jamaat's expenses to learn and bring the technology and adopt this model in Hunza?
I am advocating through idea demonstration projects the technology that can be used to generate electricity. Why you have to go outside?
To bring the equipment.
No, I am very much against bringing the equipment and sending your money out.
So where can you get the equipments here, sir? Within
You
Pakistan?
make it at your level. That is the type of technology that I am advocating.
Please, can you repeat it again? At what type?
You use village level technology which does not require much of engineering facilities.
So why is that the entire region thinks that it's like a big obstacle, or it's something really like a rocket science that you cannot achieve it?
That is wondering me. I don't know why they are not adopting it. I'm advocating it since about 2004 to make a Hunza power supply company.
All right. So do you have anything a format, sir? You said Hunza.
Yes, Hunza power supply company.
Hunza Power Supply Company. Is it registered or no?
That's exactly I want, that people should first form this power supply company and jointly raise the money for it.
So what is the minimum expenses do you think, sir?
As I told you, 95,000 rupees per kilowatt, and the designs are 1 kilowatt models. So one model would be would require about 95,000 rupees.
That's it?
Yes, that's it.
What about, sir, if I'm talking about me, if I can invest, can you generate for me?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That sounds a brilliant idea. 95,000, and then you can produce electricity, and then you can sell it to other people.
Well, 1 kilowatt would be good enough just for you. It would not be too. It would not be able. You will not be able to sell it.
So how many?
You can use it at your home.
How many kilowatts do you require?
But if you make 100 kilowatt, if you make 1 megawatt,
okay,
for corporation.
Yeah. So 100 kilowatt will cost you 100,000.
They make a network and they jointly invest.
Yeah, why are we depending on the government or the NGOs? At least we, the overseas, whoever is listening here, guys, there's options. We, the overseas, Gilgit Baltistan, we need to get together. There's a beautiful option. 95,000 is 1 kilowatt, and 100,000, which is you're talking about. You can make 100 kilowatt times 100,000.
You can make megawatts. You can make 100 megawatts. It depends on, those 1 kilowatt units. You can just put them all along the river.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. I learned something and I do appreciate it. Thank you for giving us the input. I'm trying to bring awareness to the lazy folks of Hunza Valley. I hope they can gear up, they can get out of their house and think something outside the box. I do appreciate your knowledge, sir.
That is not the typical method of generation which is existing in the world today. It is a little new idea, so new ideas don't get roots so easily.
Yeah, if these people are taking the parcels or the bags of these patans and smuggling it from Hunza to China, trying to make money, why can they not get together and just produce electricity?
Well,
and
you can do it as a business, but I'm not money-minded. I'm not doing it as a business.
No, I'm thinking business. No, I'm thinking for the job opportunity for the business. That's my way of thinking, sir.
Hundreds and thousands of jobs would be available if you adopt this method of generating electricity.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Some would be repairing it, some would be manufacturing it, some would be overseeing it, installing it.
Yes, and then some people can also start selling this product to other villages or other parts of Gilgit-Baltistan with the same model.
That would be a slightly at a later stage once you have come up with a world-class quality.
Good. Sir, my question was the same, but we already covered. The question was basically what innovative, affordable models of electricity production can be introduced at the village level. So I think we already covered.
No, they are already there. It's
a
question of changing your mindset and attitude and saying, okay, let me take this chance and let me take this option.
Okay, so the next question, sir. What is the role of youth and local engineers in developing low-cost electricity solutions?
Well, I think local engineers are also used, also their minds are made up. We can't make it, let's import it.
Why they cannot make it, sir?
Well, you don't have manufacturing facilities. That's why I have come up with this idea that we should be able to make it from whatever small hand tools that you have at village level.
So what do you think, sir, what the future holds for us? Like the entire Hunza is dependent only on the Khyber hydroelectric power.
Yes, I think that's a very basic need to have energy. Without the energy, you can't have a good economy.
Yes, but then it's not reliable, sir. The Khyber electricity is not reliable. So, what do you think in the long run, in the future, will happen?
You can have reliable system. Who stops you from having a reliable system?
Okay, moving to the next question,
Yes,
sir.
but yes, when this reliability factor you are talking, a government-run project nowhere in Pakistan has remained reliable because honesty is missing.
Oh, the honesty is missing, but the Islam is there. What about the Islam, sir?
That's honesty is missing in most of the Islamic countries.
Yeah, but when people go for Hajj, the Hajis are from Pakistan. So,
Yes, those rituals they consider very important.
okay, Mr. Hissam, I thank you, sir. We're gonna move to the next question. Can we prototype renewable electricity models using hydro, solar, and wind at the local level?
Yes,
Oh,
that's exactly I'm trying to say that I have made workable prototypes. The only requirement is anybody interested in making them, you can just visit, see it, either reproduce or improve it.
yes. And then the model is with you.
It's online also.
Okay, online
If you
also.
go through the YouTube, you will see the models, and if you read my blog, you will see the details of how it was done.
Awesome. So now, why isn't electricity seen as a form of local entrepreneurship and economic development?
That's exactly I am advocating.
So, how can we train villagers to operate and maintain small scale energy systems?
Well, I had made, for about 54 households, I had made a model with the same aim that first they will have the electricity and they will use this electricity to make lifelong learning centers. Now, I am advocating that it should be done through the Jamaat Khana now.
So, each Jamaat Khana should start their own hydroelectric.
Yes, each Jamaat Khana should have a lifelong learning center, and for having a lifelong learning center, you got to have the electricity and just put on the solar panels on top of the Jamaat Khana.
So,
And not only for local learning and Jamaat Khana, you can give it to the people all around Jamaat Khana, or those who are all dependent on the Jamaat Khana.
yeah, but now coming to Hunza, sir, the weather condition is far better. But if you go to Upper Hunza, Gojal Valley, it's icy and minus 40 plus extreme windy. So, how are we going to manage that?
It doesn't matter. You can have it on top of the highest mountains in the world.
But, sir, the rivers get frozen. So, what do we do with that kind if it freezes?
Well, river doesn't get frozen to the extent that you can't run a turbine.
Yes, they're freezing in Gojal, sir.
Yes, they freeze once the flow is very slow, like let's say this Atabad Lake. But others, they are not frozen completely.
Yeah, no,
They still have flow.
the river Unza banks are fine, but the small rivers, village rivers, they freeze and then.
So you concentrate on the river instead of these rivulets.
Yes,
You
but
just make the river and then get the electricity. That's what I'm advocating.
yes, sir. So what happened is the flow in the winter time, the water goes down, and the machines remain far. So it's huge work.
If you see the working, if you see this video that I have put on the thing, you have to make a size which is good enough to the type of flow that is available to you.
All right.
Both for winter and the summers.
Do you think whatever you're doing, sir, people from Hunza are taking any guidelines, benefit, or do you have any interaction?
I wish it was adopted. I mean, I wish the AKRSP had adopted it.
Okay, let me get your feedback, sir. We did this is my fourth live session with you. Did any person came forward and say, hey, Brigadier Hissam, I'm extremely interested. Let's solve the issue of electricity in Hunza, at least village level. Did anyone took an initiative?
Everybody says we must solve the issue of electricity, but no one is willing to come forward to work on this idea.
Why not, sir?
That's my question also. I've been trying for so many years without any impact.
You know when they're gonna come forward for two things. If they want to watch a lady dancing on the Facebook, or maybe someone, I don't want to say things bad, people are listening. Yes, if there is a dance show.
I quote again and again the webcast which Imam did on the occasion of Diamond Jubilee. He gave 4 goals and how those goals are to be achieved. And in that, civil society is the most important element, the local dynamic leadership. And to train the local dynamic leadership, it was given as a goal to AKRSP long time back. To some extent, they have trained the local people as leaders. Now, those leaders have to implement these ideas.
So what were the other 2 goals, sir? Besides civil society, local leadership, what is the third and fourth?
I think we will be deviating. I have just given those goals. If you read my blog, I have repeated them yesterday. Now, if you are interested, I'll tell you there. That was a 25 years goal given to AKRSP. There were 3 goals.
What are the 3 goals, sir?
Okay, let me read those for you. Well, those 3 goals were goal number 1.
Yes, sir.
In 25 years' time, improve the economic conditions so that populations in northern areas and Chitral can meet the ever-increasing costs of health and education and also become self-sustaining. This was goal number 1. Goal number 2 was groom indigenous leadership capable of establishing democracy, because democracy is prerequisite for meritocracy and pluralism, and also capable of planning for a better quality of life for their future without external inputs. This was the second goal. And the third goal was facilitate establishment of knowledge society in the program area.
Okay, so we passed the 25.
And that's why he gave the 4 goals in Diamond Jubilee Address webcast. It says societies can best strengthen themselves by mobilizing their own dynamic forces rather than relying on external support and direction. About 39 years back, we were told to groom the leadership, and now he expects that groomed leadership to accomplish this.
Okay, so what will happen if those groomed leaders are sitting in Rawalpindi and Islamabad?
Doesn't matter. They do go there in summer.
Yeah, but they go in summer for vacation. They don't go for there to apply the forces or the work.
They do doing that type of work and during the vacations also.
Cool. Well, sir, as per your knowledge you're sharing with us, AKRSP had the vision 25 years of improvement of economic conditions, health, education, and self-sustainability in the region. So that was a 25 years of roadmap. The second one you said it was...
That has been completed in 2009 and it is now 2025.
Oh, that's already been completed in 2009.
Yes, 82. It was these goals were specified in 1982.
Okay, 1982.
And by 2009, these should have been achieved.
Okay, I see that. Sir, the second one you said was about grooming, independence, growth, meritocracy, and all those things. So it was about the leadership grooming.
No. Let me read it again. Second one was groom indigenous leadership.
Oh, yeah, indigenous.
Capable of establishing democracy. Because democracy is a prerequisite for meritocracy and pluralism.
Okay, so the second one...
And these local leaders should also be capable of planning for a better quality of life for their future without external inputs.
Awesome. So grooming of this indigenous group and the leaders on meritocracy, and then establishing this engaging about
grooming in democracy, because meritocracy, it is only democracy in which meritocracy can
apply and can be accommodated. So these were the two tasks in the beginning when AKRSP started in 1982, and now
the third one was knowledge society.
Yes, but I'm coming to that one, sir. So
knowledge society.
Yes, so the third one was knowledge society, but matter of fact, the knowledge society where you're trying to give your input, you got approval from Hazir Imam, and then you're trying to teach and educate the people of Gilgit-Baltistan and Chitral, where they're still not understanding Imam's vision till today. So the project ended in 2009. From 2009 up to 2005, how many years now?
Total 35, since from 82 to 2025, you can calculate the number of years.
Yes.
18 plus 25, 43 years.
Yes. So now 2009, till 2005, we unfortunately we got a vacuum, and then the gap built it up. So the third condition, which was about knowledge society, was never applied, or is not applied, or is lacking something. So the leadership who got groomed and were supposed to take this all this power in their hands and apply it to the society, after they getting groomed and after learning everything, and now they're lacking and applying the knowledge society to Hunza and Gilgit Baltistan.
Now, another aspect is the Imam has realized that these goals are not being achieved. So our institutions have to reorientate. And in year 2000, he asked me to announce the concept of reorientation.
So, what do you mean by reorientation for our Jamaat for the same thing, sir? So, it means do some changes, right?
One of the aspects I just read when he repeated in his webcast. An important facet of modern development thinking is that societies can best strengthen themselves by mobilizing their own dynamic forces rather than relying on external support and direction. And you have the village organizations, you have the women organizations, you have the LSOs, you have Better Tomorrow collections, you have the saving schemes. So these are the source, already arrangement is there.
So, let me ask you, sir. So, the fourth one is society, and the best strength is the self sustainability, which is the fourth one. Both knowledge society and the society can best strengthen themselves from the self sustainability. So, what exactly went wrong in these two subjects? Where did we do, or what did we do wrong that?
Orientation of the institutions, orientations of the leaders, orientations of the individuals. Now, we have to understand what does Imam mean by orientation. And for that, you have to read the Talimat book, Faith and Practice, Volume 1, Unit 1.1. That deals with orientation.
Don't you think, sir, the PDCN is doing their role for orientation for the teachers? So don't you think that?
Yes, they're doing to their own capacity, according to their own capacity.
Yes. So if PDCN can do or develop, make changes or improve the skills of these teachers, so how can the the civil society?
Teachers have to improve the skills of whoever they teach.
Yeah, that's just one department, sir. But now, like, all of these leaders, the LSOs, the leaders, everybody got trained. They've been trained for and groomed for 25 years. So now, why are they not applying?
Question is, they have not been trained on the lines recommended by the Imam.
Why not, sir? There was a no roadmap for that?
That is the question. That is the need for ordering reorientation, that you've not been doing it the way I want it. So this is how you have to do it. So it is given all those ABCs of how.
Well, I'm just surprised. Imam has invested so much of.
No, you don't get surprised. Have you read those ABCs?
Personally, no. I don't have time for that. I didn't.
Yes, that's it. That's it. That's why I gave you the example that you can take a horse to drink water, but if it doesn't drink, what do you do?
You can't force the horse.
Right. Now see, you just take your own example. Have you read the concept of reorientation given as part of faith to Ismailis in our region?
No, I didn't have time for that, sir. My life is busy. I'm learning
That's
myself.
it. That's it. That's how. That's the main reason. Now, if you had read it, you would propagate it through your platform also. Similarly, if our institutional leaders had read it, our Mukis, Kambias had read it, then they would give it to the Jamaat who's coming to the Jamaat Khanas.
Sir, I want your input, please. So this will be like establishing local knowledge hubs. Is that right? That will be through.
Yes, that's why I'm advocating lifelong learning centers in Jamaat Khanas.
Yeah, that includes community libraries, digital centers, and equipped Jamaat Khanas.
Libraries, I think these days they have become sort of extraneous. Nobody wants to read the books. They want to go to social media. They want to go to internet.
Okay, so digital centers, equipped Jamaat Khanas, ITRAB space with internet access, digital books, and AKDN resources.
Yes, even if you don't have internet access, you have the USBs.
Cool.
You have the satellite information coming from satellite.
Okay, yeah. I'm reading the reorientation now, sir. So, with skill-based workshops, regular training on technology, business environment, and research-based disciplines. Is that right?
No, reorientation, I would recommend you to read Faith and Practice, Volume 1, Unit 1.1.
Faith and Practice. Let me write it. Faith and Practice.
Volume 1.
Volume 1.
Unit 1.1.
Unit number?
1.1.
1.1. Okay. We go to the second subject, sir. The second one will be promoting lifelong learning, which includes adult education programs focused on entrepreneurship, digital literacy, and parenting in a knowledge-based world.
Yes.
And then the second is
lifelong learning has to be multidimensional.
Okay,
and it's very easy and free of cost. It's only a question of promoting it and getting convinced that this is the way.
The second is youth engagement platforms to create forums and mentorship programs where youth learn from professionals, local and globally.
Yes, that's a little that requires quite a bit of effort, and one person cannot. For example, I started getting youth together in Hunza. Initially, there were about 400 youths with whom I interacted. And again, another time, I interacted with another group which was smaller. But that requires a lot of effort. So easier way is, we have the Jamaat Khana, non-Ismailis have mosques and Matam Saras.
The third thing is strengthen faith and ethics education.
Yes.
Which is deepen religious education, encourage critical thinking and inquiry-based approach.
Well, this, The traditional sources of material on faith, that was not adequate. That's why Muhammad decided to have the new curriculum of Talimat books. And this new curriculum of Talimat books certainly is aimed at making a mind ask questions. It's good for the world, and it's good for your faith. So you can't move much further without going through these books.
And after that, sir, it's going to be interfaith and ethics dialogues, like teach values like pluralism, compassion, and responsible citizenship rooted in the Ismaili tradition.
Yes, those are the topics covered in these Talimat books.
So the fourth is going to be encourage research and innovation. So that will be local research.
Yes.
Local research projects encourage students to work on local issues.
If you make it part of your faith, then you would be doing it.
Yes, and encourage students to work on local issues, example, climate change in Hunza, sustainable tourism, heritage conservations.
Yes, all the topics.
And the very next will be partnership with UCA, University of Central Asia, and AKU, leverage institution in the Aga Khan Development Network to offer remote and in-person learning.
Yes. You just start attending the UCA courses.
And
there's no limit.
And all the courses available.
You just visit the site and then download the material.
ورتفس اشکی کوی بسک گش کارت صبر کخت خوش آمدید دخیکوار برنامه د وخی تی وی وزاین صبر کخت قلاق بسیار سپاس نسپو گست سپیکر سپو میمان تی بریگیدر اسلام الله بیگ لوپ نونگی س کنجود هونزان and so Brits po Ismaili so the national president to the Putun Pakistan شش سال سه سپو امام را خدمت کرد نیوسته knowledge society ریارک سرد eu ni hunan ki kum platformite eu nungite Hunza. Samsung, your platform was Hunza Development Forum, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hunza Development Forum blog yewan kul chiz ka kart imam ne ki chiz vision te और sakate imam ne ki chiz حکومت است و چیز حکم تو کمت کی 25 سال تاریخ سکسه ایکارسپی خان رو سپورت پروگرام سکیخ کرد سان بعد سے لیڈرشپ پیدا کرد سو لیڈرشپ بعد نالج سوسائٹی تو نالج سوسائٹی بعد سے ساکنسیز اختیار کا کرتو سیلف سسٹینبل یعنی کہ خط سے خوددار وچن خط خطر گیزن یار سر خط سے संभाल सरन ड्राई से टेक्नोलॉजी या जोइन या इल्म या नए मजहब या कुल चीज खातन गौन खाल्क डिपेंड है सर एम कसा ये मौजूद है वुद कसा ते बिजली सक्सर पिदो सरन सोलारन खोसियरन खोने से युपकन से सक बिजली पैदौन बर्क सक पोमेर वृत्ष बर्क खानन I am a subject wud kasa kert. Thank you, Mr. Hissam. We appreciate your knowledge, sir. I was translating in Wakhi because there are some people watching me from Russia and Tajikistan, and we do have people watching you here live. There's mixed Jamaat, like you said, culture pluralism. A lot of people are watching you. I hope they understand and they listen to your words, whatever you're saying. I thank you for putting all your effort.
I wish even 2% people develop some interest in these Talimat books. It will make a big difference.
Okay, so I hope, as per President Saab, he's saying, I hope 2% people will go online, learn from the Talimat books. what does our religion tell us, what our faith tells us, and how we can live in the society. Sir, my fifth point was digital media literacy. So, media awareness sessions teach how to critically evaluate information, avoid misinformation, and use social media responsibly. This one is for me.
I think if you establish lifelong learning centers at group level, 10 households, for example, so you have an effective method of introducing them to all that.
Yeah. Promote Wakhi and Brusheski language content through storytelling, local history, documentation, and YouTube podcast channels.
Yes.
The sixth will be community leadership development. The seventh is focus.
It all depends on how much, what is your orientation.
Yes.
And in order to develop a progressive orientation on the lines desired by the Imam, we have to go through the Talimat books.
Awesome. Thank you. Number 7 is, sir, focus on women and girls.
Well, just to share an experience,
Yes, sir.
in Acadian budgets do go through the country national council as part of information. While I was there, 60% of the budget was for females and 40% for males. So that shows how much importance has been given to improvement conditions for the females.
MashaAllah. That's a good input. So no wonder women in our societies are now more educated than men.
Well, I wish they are also educated in the Talimat.
So that means that so that means we are all lacking the talimat. So you're putting importance on talimat all the time and knowledge society. Okay.
Talimat is the basis of all that because Imamat has worked on it since 1957.
So do you think there were some additions made, sir, in the since 1957 till now, or it's still the same old version?
No, old version is going on and our system insists on going through that old version. They have effectively stopped propagation of the new version. And that's why I've made it available online. IRS has made it available online. It's only a question of people downloading that and getting reading it.
So this can also be downloaded from your Hunza.
Yes.
Hunza Development Forum.
Yes.
Thank you.
All this material that I'm talking about, the civil society learning material, the Imamat book, the constitution, the civil society learning material, the Talimat, it's all available.
Good. Sir, we went out of the track, but though we learned a lot, we covered the subject about reorientation and the 4 important roadmaps which were laid down by our Hazir Imam, and then now it's like 42, 43 years of lifespan in Hunza. What have we achieved, what we have not achieved. So we will move to the topic, sir. The topic today is about electricity. So let me ask you a question. We're going back to the subject. Hissam sir, I thank you for being a guest speaker on our live. My question to you is, sir, what type of financial and policy support is needed to encourage local electricity generation?
Not much. I said some individuals can contribute, but it's not essential. essential is those social organizations, they have the saving schemes, they should start investing in and getting benefit, saving their savings also.
Okay, we will revise the question again, sir. How can local electricity initiatives become sustainable and self sufficient?
Well, you have to pay for the, whatever government rates are, you have to pay the bills. Once you pay the bills, your money is saved and you get a profit on that also.
Nice. So, what mistakes have been made in the past energy projects in remote regions?
I wouldn't call it mistakes. It has not even been started.
Oh my God. So, that means that even today, Hunza is at the rank of Stone Age?
You see, whatever government has made, you know what they do, how they work. So that's why the stress is on civil society. That's why courses in UCA are being introduced to teach civil society.
Yes, but that UCA
We
material.
have to learn we have to learn civil society and how it has to work.
So, why is there no energy innovation hub in mountain region with such rich natural potential?
Well, I don't have any answer. The thing is, different people come with different ideas. I have come up with some ideas, and I feel if they are accepted, they will probably give a big revolution both to economy and to job market and to job market in our region for the future generations to come.
Brigadier Hissam, your background is engineering, sir. So now let me ask you, how much or how many percentage of people has taken advantage of your models or your knowledge or the idea you are trying to implement in northern area? So how much of the percentage is already taken from you? You feel that people have
None that I know.
That's strange.
That's why I am advocating again and again through different means.
Have you visited the villages and you offered your service, sir?
Some, not all. I've been interacting with the village leaders.
Okay. Village leaders from what part of Gojal?
All. Source.
Sost, how are you going to interact with sir, how are you going to interact with Sost when they don't even have a drinking water till today?
Well, it's if they work together, they can have it.
Sost does not have a drinking water.
To do it, they have not done it, they will not do it. They did build that tunnel and got the agricultural water.
That was the old folks, sir. It's not the new current generation. That was the old generation who built it.
So the new generation is being trained by the old generation. They have the traditions to go by.
Yeah, but they don't want that. They want to have a white Land Cruiser so they can travel from Hunza to Sos to Hunza and just show off.
No, I think that's that trend you can't really control. It's something which the modern world has created. Yes, our system can try to motivate on the right lines. And for that, you have the directions from the Imam. So nothing can be better than that.
We will now move to the next question, sir. I want to ask you, Mr. Sam, how can microfinancing or crowdfunding support village level electricity projects?
Well, I am not thinking of that type of a support. The support is from within the society itself.
So you think should local communities take charge of electricity planning rather than waiting for governments?
Yes. By all means, that's exactly what I'm advocating. We have the TMSs now. We have the LSOs in every village.
So can solar mini grids or hydro projects be built by community cooperatives?
Yes, I'm visualizing that we should not be investing in grids. We should be using the government grid to get the electricity to the homes.
So what are the technical challenges in building electricity system at high altitudes or isolated valleys?
I don't think there are any challenges except this attitude of somebody else should do it for us.
Wow. That's a kind of a spoiled mind. Somebody should do it for us. Why not themselves?
Yes. Let's do it ourselves. That's it.
So how can we create an energy entrepreneurship mindset among youth? How can we do that?
No, I wish I knew the methods. I'm not a very convincer, apparently.
So do you think
I thought I made it at my president's Pendi residence, and I made this system in my Hunza residence, and I have 24 hours of electricity without any external costs. So what else can I do? I can only show it. This is how it is.
Sir, can I ask you a favor when you go to Hunza this time? Do a favor from my side. Invite all these bloggers and the Facebook, TikToker, Instagrammers, all these people who are doing these blogs, the influencer, bring them to your place and give them all to.
You will find that invitation also repeated a number of times.
I was not invited.
You haven't gone through the invitation, so what can I say?
I never
It's
got.
there on my blog.
I never
It's
got the
there on my
invitation.
blog. But individually, it is not possible for me to individually connect everybody.
Okay, but I am invited, right?
Social media is a most effective modern method. That's what I have adopted.
Okay, sir. With your permission, next time when I visit Hunza, so I'm invited, and then I'm gonna advocate for your model.
Anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and then I'm gonna maybe by then I will have more big followers. Right now I'm at 42,000, so then I will spread your words more better, hopefully. Provided if there's internet and electricity there at your home.
Yes, it's there always, 24 hours.
Okay, so what kind of international partnership can support these grassroots energy efforts, sir?
We have got used to that type of mindset. I don't want it.
You don't want it. Okay. You're against it. Should the government buy excess electricity from villages to incentivize production? Like if we produce more electricity, should the government buy it from us? Should we sell it to the government?
Yes, government, it is their it is their legal and moral responsibility to look after the people and their needs.
No, but when we have excess of electricity, can the villages sell it for incentive of the production? Oh, I think he has internet issues. Vrtve se sektamo šo saret de hik banama de Wakhi TV jonogi Karim. Siz شهر لاس وگاس صبر كنت خوش آمدید سرم امید سرم سشکو بافمت خوشمت خوشحالمت درم سپوتن guest speaker سپو guest speaker نونگته اسلام ولا بیگ و internet شخ بیتا سکوزو درم invite سرن یو visit سپو برنامه چرم دیلای was مرسید که internet disconnect بیتا.
Not contact with you.
Are you there? Sir, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, but I can hear your voice, but not the picture.
Oh, because the camera is off. Let me turn on the camera, sir. I think you got cut off, right? Give me 1 second. You got disconnected, right?
Yes, I'm disconnected. Just the voice is coming all right.
Ask to start a video. 1 second, sir. I invited you to start a video, please. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm there.
Strange. I can't see. Sorry about the interruption. I don't know, maybe your internet was weak, it dropped, so
Can you see my picture?
I'm not able to.
Video.
1 second, sir.
I can see it here on the screen. And yours is also there, not your, that mountain.
Yeah.
Wakhi yes.
Yeah, I'm.
Snow clad mountain is there. Snow top mountain is there. I can see that.
Sir, do you mind? Can you come back? Because I don't know for what reason I'm not able to turn on your video.
I don't know. It's I had tried reconnecting.
Yeah, can you end it and then come back, sir?
Okay, do that.
Please. Vritva Spotsni Spo guest speaker Brigadier Hissam Baig Spotsni se Spo electricity issue ki kum do Hunza Gilgit Baltistan te Skash sak nivdam Ksasaran.
I don't know how to do it.
Why do you want to report? I'm not reporting. Okay, it's been removed, so let's invite him again. Skazuma Mavritva my system is a bit weird. I don't know how to use this system, but yes, let's try. Let's try. Hikwa, welcome to my live, guys. Thank you for joining. We are live from the beautiful city of Las Vegas, guys. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the share. If you have any question for me, please let me know. If you have questions, ask me questions. I'm trying to bring back my guest speaker. My guest speaker is Hissam Baig, Brigadier Hissam Baig, well-known personality from the beautiful valley of Hunza. I'm trying to get him back on the show. We got disconnected for some reason. Routine و ساکشا دو وخی تیوی د تابنقتی د برنامه زنده د خیکوار زکت سابنقتی سپو برنامه نونگی تی guest speaker سپوتن یمی قریبا سبورنا بعد ساکنقتی ویزده دم یمی سپوتن episode number 4. مرسید که یورسکه مزاین بس نیویزید وزن برنامه شوخ سرم سابرکوختر دست با برنامه و زاین سابرکوخت قلاق و بسیار انشالله د دیگر برنامه و سابنقتی وزم وزم برنامه شوخ کرد سابرکوختر خداحافظ انشالله د دیگر برنامه سابنقتی وزم. Thank you for watching Wakhi TV. We will